Hi, I'm Steve, this is Fran. Today, we're gonna do a semi-ranking video on the 3 combination washer-dryer heat pumps.
Historically, something that we've been completely against to the point that we wouldn't even sell them because we were that far against these.
No. We would sell them if someone would admit that we're telling them that it would break down within 5 years, because the old ones, and it's funny because I get bashed on the internet all the time. So it's like my least favorite product because it does remove the lint. What happens to lint? Lint stays in the machine, lint breaks machine or stops the mode over time. Impossible service call, upset customer. Guaranteed. But now everyone's talking about how they can remove the lint. Imagine that, right?
It's a new age.
It's a new age.
So
right?
We'll see. Let's see how new of an age it is.
We're going to do some pretty advanced testing in the next couple weeks, because if these don't work, man, God, there are a lot of people that are going to be very disappointed.
So like you said, 3 brand new models that have kind of been, these are now the new standard for all-in-one washers and dryers. And they're from GE Profile, LG, and Samsung. So let's start with the GE Profile.
Well, we did probably the most testing on it. So far, last time I checked, we only fixed 1 machine. And I would say that before you buy any of these, I would check reviews, comments, and everything else. And let me just start by saying, if you're not going to remove the lint every time, assiduously, then don't buy one of these. Really, that's the first thing. Do not buy one of these unless you can remove the lint. Now, they've got special tools. There's also, if you tape the GE, it removes more lint around the edges, supposedly. I like this machine. I think it's probably the most well thought out. Only because I talked to the engineer so extensively. It's smaller at 4.8, with LG being 5, Samsung being 5.3. But I do think they figured out they've got the biggest heat pump in terms of overall size. They've got a 5-year warranty on said heat pump. We'll get into warranties a little bit later because some of these are fantastical. But they're the only ones that have that on the sealed system. So I like this machine, asterisk. I'm not going to endorse it completely until 3, 4, 5 years go by, because if the minute amount of lint goes through every wash, it's only a matter of time. It's like a ticking time bomb on any of these, but I like this machine.
Yeah, and I think some of the nice features with the GE machine that you see in kind of their other front loaders as well, they've done a nice job of putting the Microban technology into these to resist kind of odor and mildew.
Well, you're not going to have a problem typically on any of these. Oh, it doesn't have the odor block. That's right. You're going to have a problem with them because the dryer is going to heat the gasket anyway. But
right. And then you mentioned size, like cubic footage capacity, a little bit smaller than the other two, but physical size, you look at it and it's like, oh, it is a little bit bigger on the top. And you're like, well, why is that? But part of it is kind of the beauty of what makes it work, and the fan that's built into the top there for the drying, but really to help move the clothes around as well, to help with the drying. So that is a major part of it, I think, why it's worked for us to be able to wash and dry in a good time frame as well. And part of that is kind of that extra size that you see in the top of the machine too. The double-sided lint filter, like you said, this one really kind of easy to take out, easy to clean. Double-sided, I think it does a really nice job capturing a lot of that lint. But like you said, we'll keep testing them and seeing. Anything else on the GE?
No, I think it's I think it's a well-designed machine. The jury's out on all 3 of them, but
definitely.
But again, I happen to like this machine.
So GE's been out the longest so far, and then next would be the LG.
It's funny. Really, what it's coming down to is how much does the filter. Now, LG's got that double-sided filter that I like. But it's on the top.
Exactly.
Where Samsung has the double-sided filter in the front. So it really depends. I happen to like the filter on the LG and the Samsung the best. That said, I like LG from a reliability. Their machines typically are the most reliable washers and dryers you can buy. So I like the pedigree. I like their technology. It is a little bit bigger at 5 cubic feet, but you do need 4 inches behind that, according to their own specifications. So you need a really big closet there to in depth wise to accommodate an LG.
Yeah, and just LG features in general too. They have the automatic dispenser on there. They offer the TurboWash as well.
Yep.
So LG, just like you said, laundry in general, they make phenomenal laundry. It's really
it's great.
Top laundry.
It's great.
Yeah,
great laundry. Really good laundry.
And then Samsung. So Samsung has a unique kind of eye-catching claim on the all-in-one washer, where on their motor they offer a 20-year warranty.
Why not 50? It doesn't matter. It's not going to get fixed anyway. Because here's the thing about warranties, extended warranties. A lot of people have 7-year full extended warranties. Well, independent servicer gets paid a contract rate, right? It's like $120 to put a motor into a tub, which is like a 4-hour job. So tell me, the service person that's going to do that doesn't exist, won't happen, right? And when Samsung doesn't have their own service, it'll never happen on any of these things. And even the YouTubers that you see that break down these machines, none of them, not one of them, does a warranty call, willing to bet. So when you look at these fantastic warranties, just understand that if it does get fixed, the labor rate is going to be so high. You might get the part, that service person, to make up that money in 7, 8, 10 years is going to charge you $1,000 for labor, guaranteed. I guaranteed. Yeah. The only person that wouldn't do that is a competent self-servicing dealer, because they sold it to you and took the profit initially. But you just got to be very careful. Extended warranties with no service behind it on this it's just flat out gimmickry. That said, the Samsung is the biggest. I like their filter the best. Their LCD touchscreen is unbelievable. The cycles, you have so many cycles, and then you can change the options within each cycle. So you can totally customize anything you want in this machine, anything. The problem with Samsung is, of the three, G's got their own service department. LG's actually has a fledgling service department that they're investing in, but Samsung's got no service. So that's a real problem.
Yeah.
But in terms of technology, you could play YouTube on this machine as you're waiting on the thing. You could get Spotify in that machine and listen to music, although the mic is in the machine. but still, the technology that these guys come up with is it's second to none.
Pretty incredible.
But most people like me just want their clothes washed and dried. I don't need to hear YouTube.
And they're definitely the newest one to the market.
Yeah, they're brand new.
There. So,
but the filter's great.
Yeah.
The technology's great. The sizing's a little bit bigger.
All right, we're looking forward to that. So question, just in general, on the combo all-in-one washers and dryers, forget about service and reliability for a second. I know, it's a hard thing for us to say.
Let's forget about it, and then we'll take
hard
the phone
thing for us
call
to say. That's pretty much our lifeline here. But what about the machines in general? Who are these for? Do you think this is something that's going to replace traditional washers and dryers, or do you think this is more of an act? How do you see this?
I used to think that way, and what it's good for, it is a godsend, wonderful appliance for someone who's 110. It is unbelievable for people that cannot vent, because now water, drain, 120 power, you can put a machine in. Right now, I'm not sure how many rooms have a drain. So in terms of that, it's great. But you got to remember, you put in where it excels is, you go to the office, you put a load in, you come home, it's completely dry. But if you've got a family of 5 and you're doing load after load after load, remember that it's like a 30-minute wash, right? For most machines. Yeah. Then you pull it over to the dryer, you start another wash. You can't do that on a combo. And because it's a heat pump, it takes more time. So it's almost a 2-for-1 deal, right? So you put in your clothes in a washer and a separate dryer, 1 load's done, 2 loads are done in the time of just about 1 on a combo. So if you're doing a lot of stuff, then I wouldn't do that. And there's some really exciting heat pump dryers coming out as well, separate heat pump dryers. So I don't see people replacing it as much as the industry does. I think there will be some replacement. I think in some areas it's wonderful. But if you're a large family, you do a lot of laundry, I wouldn't be so quick to buy one.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of convenience, flexibility there. But if you're doing a ton I have a family of 5 with 3 young kids, boys. We're doing a ton of laundry. This will probably take us a little bit longer.
Yeah, my little girl, she goes through stuff like it's between that, workout clothes, and everything else, it's a bunch of laundry.
Yeah.
Although I could probably use one of these. I could probably get by with one. But still, I think if this technology is ever perfected and they get the time down and they get the lint problem, if it is solved, I think that it could be the future, but it's certainly not within the next 5 years.
Okay, I think that's going to do it.
If you like the comparisons, hit the subscribe button, and we'll have more. And thanks for watching.